Usapan natin ay isang ahensya ng pamahalaan na binuo noong 1986 at ito po ay yung Presidential Commission on Good Government. Pero among other things, we will talk about some other issues a bit later. Pero doon tayo magsisimula sa PCGG na noong panahon ni Pangulong Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, isinailalim na sa Department of Justice. For the record, we invited the officer in charge of the Presidential Commission on Good Government, si Commissioner Amurao, at ang Solicitor General na si Solgen Lorraine Hilbay. Nagkataon nga lamang na sabi nila may conflict sa kanilang schedule, kaya hindi sila makakarating. On the record din, sasabihin ko na ilang beses namin inanayahan si Solicitor General Hilbay because we planned this discussion a long time ago. And then nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa PCGG. Ang chair nila na si Dean Andy Bautista was appointed to the Commission on Elections. Kaya last week, Andy was here as chair of the Commission on Elections. Pero sa recollection ng ating mga panauhin, ano nga kaya ang nagawa ng Presidential Commission on Good Government? Was it really at par with the expectations? Nagkaroon ba ng magandang accomplishments? Whatever happened to it? Dahilan sa may nagsasabi na yung mga na-sequestered became milking cows. Now, I don't know whether it's an appropriate term, but some people say the sequestered companies remained sequestered. Kung meron mga nabenta, baka nabenta sa mga kaibigan at mga kakilala. Kasama po natin si dating Senate President Nene Pimentel Jr. How I wish we'll have more of his kind sa Senado sa 2016. And then we also have with us the only son of Cagayan de Oro who became Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Collegian, si dating Member of Parliament Bono Adaza. You know, pag itong dalawa kasama natin, kahit maghapon tayo sa talakayan, hindi tayo maubusan ng topic. And later on, we'll have Atty. Dennice Manalo. Wala po kinalaman ito kay Bong Navarro. Iba po ang spelling nitong Dennice Manalo na ito doon sa abogado ni Bong Navarro. Siya po yung legal counsel ni dating Governor Singson na mayroong controversy sa PCGG. So let's start the ball rolling. As far as your recollection, Nene and Atty. Bono, ano ba talaga ang pinaka-layunin ng PCGG? Let's start. So, Atty. Bono, ikaw muna. Please.
Layunin, I will take a look at the PCGG law. My impression of PCGG in its creation is it's designed to confiscate the ill-gotten properties of Marcos and his cronies. That was my understanding. I know it's funny. I just want to relate this incident because it goes very deeply into the creation of PCGG. You know, I was in the United States, I think late 86 or early 87. I had the opportunity to meet with Eduardo Danding Cuanco, one of the men whose properties were placed under PCGG control. You know what he told me? You know, Governor Adaza, Cory and you committed a serious mistake by creating PCGG. Why did you create PCGG when you had a revolutionary government? What you should have done is confiscate all our properties and it ends there because that's a revolutionary government. Why go through this channel? It will take ages for you to retrieve these properties you claim to be ill-gotten. So my reply to Dandy was this: Dandy, don't blame me. I have nothing to do with the creation of PCGG. Blame Cory and Salonga. Because frankly, Dandy, if I were PCG as Secretary of Justice with a revolutionary government, I will confiscate all your properties, including you. I'll confiscate you. And that's the end of it. You know, that then thanks God, you did not become Secretary of Justice. That's what he said. Okay, another incident which goes very deeply into the creation of PCGG. A friend of mine who is close to Imelda Marcos came to see me and said, we talked to the First Lady because she wants settlement of the PCGG properties, Marcos properties taken over by PCGG. Considering that Camilo Sabio, who is one of our friends from Cagayan de Oro City, is the chairman of PCGG, I think you can evolve a solution to this problem. I'm amenable to the idea. So, I had meetings with Imelda together with my friend. And she said she wants to settle the problem with PCGG of all the properties of the Marcoses, which were placed under PCGG control. So I talked to Sabio and the members of the PCGG team. And Milo was telling me, Milo Sabio with an I, not with a T.
Yeah.
Milo was telling me, yes, I'd like to listen to the proposal. So I thought this problem of Imelda on the Marcos property and PCGG could be solved. Because Imelda wanted me to be retained as a lawyer and Sabio is my friend. One evening, when we were about to conclude the approach to the settlement, Amy Marcos came. She came to the part of Imelda and she said, what is this all about? Imelda said, this is nothing. It's nothing. It does not concern you. And then she banged the table. What do you mean it does not concern me? Anything that's discussed in this house concerns me. You're discussing about PCGG, isn't it?
Sabi ni Amy yan.
Sabi ni Amy. And then, meekly, Imelda answered, yes. You want to settle this problem with PCGG? And she banged the table and said, not in a million years. Not in a million years. Huh? With this government, that is during the time of Gloria. So,
with Gloria.
Yeah. So she left. Then I told my friend, I think we better go down and after this, you better tell Mrs. Marcos that there is no way we can settle this problem. With Amy saying that there cannot be settlement on the Marcos properties with PCGG with the Gloria administration, not in a million years.
Okay.
So you see?
Yung pagkawala noong attache case sa Amerika, did it spell the difference sa PCGG function?
You know, my apologies to Joby. Because my choice, I was a liberal at the time, when there was a choice of who should be presidential candidate of the Liberal Party. And to me, Joby was the most qualified. He was brilliant and the most qualified man to become president. The story of the country would have changed, from my point of view, if Joby Salonga became president. But you know, my appreciation of Joby changed when he recommended the creation of PCGG. How could a very brilliant Filipino, who astounded Yale University, when he went there on a master's degree, wrote a thesis which surprised everybody, and his professor, Myers McDougall, told him, you co-author a book with me on international law. How could such a brilliant man like Joby recommend the creation of PCGG? I think my answer to the question is, Joby is too traditional. Also finished with the UP College of Law. Like Marcos, they want to follow traditional paths low. The traditional path here cannot solve our problem. You have to go non-traditional based on the Constitution. Mali sila, these brilliant UP lawyers always think of the traditional approach to problems in a box. In a box, they cannot think outside the box. That's the same fault of Marcos and Joey Salonga.
Okay.
And the loss of the evidence affected very greatly.
By the loss of that attachment.
Yeah, attachment. And the approach to the problem.
Do you think it was really accidental? Murphy's Law?
You know, I don't like to speculate on that level because while I disputed the creation of PCGG and my appreciation of Joby went down a little lower than before, I don't like to speculate on it.
Okay.
Because,
Let's leave it at that.
let's leave it at that.
Kanina, kayo po, ano po ang inyong pananaw? Was PCGG able to do its job in the first place? Tama ba yung pagkakabuo nito noong 1986?
Welcome muna sa ating
Oh, we have Atty. Dennice Manalo with us.
si Dennice.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
So anyway, ang nalaman ko lang after a brief, attempt at recollection at what PCGG has done, meron silang na-recover na 24 billion pesos of the alleged Marcos wealth. Now, in 2000, when I was chair of the Blue Ribbon Committee, I remember that we were investigating this matter at meron kaming natuklasan na another 14 billion in the Swiss bank in the name of Irene Ata. Then another 4 billion in the Sanwa Bank in Hong Kong and 100 million deposited in the U.S. Treasury. Gulat ako, bakit na-deposit ito sa U.S. Treasury? But more important, Melo, is the fact is, I don't know whether these amounts have been duly, brought back to the coffers of the country. Yung palagay ko ang pinaka-importanting trabaho ng PCGG, which Bono defined as, trying to recover the Marcos wealth and bring it back to the country. Pero itong mga amounts na ito, except for the 14 billion na nabanggit ko earlier, hindi ko na malaman kung ito ba ay naibalik ba. That's why I was hoping that the PCGG people would be here precisely to update us kung ano na ba ang na-recover nila talaga.
Don't worry, Nene, because after this, I will send a formal letter to the PCGG to ask them. And they're duty bound to answer. Now, if they fail to answer, then we will come up with more questions. Okay. Atty. Dennice Manalo, ano yung pinakahuli na insidente involving your client and the PCGG?
Well, this involves this 18.4 hectare commercial property at the heart of Pasig City. It used to be referred to as Payanig sa Pasig. Now it's principally called Metro Walk. Very valuable piece of land, and I think admittedly it's the most expensive, contiguous commercial property in the Philippines today. Now the problem here is that while there are conflicting claims of ownership, the PCGG is now in the process of conducting a state auction through public bidding. Now, this really creates more problems than solutions. Because first of all, it's being sold at a hefty sum of 16.5 billion. And most of the real property brokers who have acquired the bidding documents are publicly listed companies. And at the end of the day, this will be money that comes from the company, which these officers are accountable to the board of directors and to their shareholders.
Yes.
The issue here is, can the PCGG transfer ownership to a winning bidder? under their documents, their very documents, the invitation to bid, they're not making that guarantee. They're not making that guarantee.
How's that again?
Under their own invitation to bid, they have this provision that they're not even guaranteeing that they're going to make an award, and they are not liable for any loss that any participant of the bidding may suffer. So anong klaseng bidding ito? So if it turns out that you, after spending 16.5 billion, another person turns out to be the owner, ang sinasabi ng PCGG, bahala ka na dyan. Problema mo yan. I mean, this is the government, this is an agency of the government representing the state, and this is the kind of transaction that they want to enter into with the public. What kind of confidence will you generate? I think the country has enough problems on its own to create a new one. Another monstrous economic disaster. And, you know, this is what we're trying to prevent. We would like to have some sort of a closure first on the issue of ownership. And for that reason, my client, Blend Commercial of the Philippines, instituted an action. The action was principally to annul the judgment that gave the PCGG a reconstituted title. Because ang ginawa dito, just a brief history on how this property came to the PCGG's possession. After the 1986 EDSA revolution, Mr. Jose Y. Campos was tagged as one of the cronies of former President Marcos. And in order to save himself from criminal and civil liability, he ceded his assets to the PCGG in exchange for immunity. One of the assets that were ceded was a corporation named Mid-Pasig Development Corporation, which is the registered owner of these titles. However, as early as 1971 and 1975, Mid-Pasig already sold the properties to a Benedicto L. Parchamento and Estrelita Marinas, who owns an entity referred to as Blend Commercial of the Philippines. Blend Commercial of the Philippines was later on incorporated and now has a claim of ownership over the property. Bottom line here is that our position is the PCGG cannot sell what it does not own. And because there was a transfer of ownership prior to the secession of Mr. Campos, he cannot also cede that title to the Marcoses. To the PCGG.
To the PCGG.
Now, another interesting point here is that a legal issue, I would suppose, which even the Court of Appeals have already recognized, is can Campos and the PCGG by agreement classify a property as ill-gotten? That is what the tenor of their agreement was. And I think that is the very reason why Justice Antonio Carpio, in the case of City of Pasig versus the PCGG, was clear in his decision that the presumptive ownership of the PCGG will not prevail over a third party who has a better claim of ownership. That is a line in his decision, and I think he was seeing that the possibility that, you know, even if Campos and the PCGG entered into such an agreement, until the court declares that it is ill-gotten wealth, the ownership of the PCGG may still be challenged, and that is the position right now of my client.
Okay. Have you monitored the recent events at PCGG? Meron na bang nagsabi na interesado sila mag-bid sa property?
That is the public pronouncement of the PCGG that top real estate corporations have expressed their interest. But really, buying the bidding documents for 100,000 pesos per package is miles apart from making a 16.5 billion bid. That's a different story altogether.
Yeah. We have lawyers also in the panel. Atty. Nene and Bono, how do you look at it?
You know, my problem is I think outside the box.
Let's see. Not like Duterte anyway.
Duterte, he should be in the box. I don't know what kind of box he be in. By this problem of PCGG and the ill-gotten wealth. You know, these legal debates will continue until the end of the world, until kingdom come. So if I were the leader of this country, to finish this problem once and for all, I will declare it a constitutional transition government based on Section 1 and Section 3 of Article 2 of the Constitution. In simple terms, meaning declare a revolutionary government. Declare a revolutionary government. Settle this issue once and for all. Because in a revolutionary government or a constitutional transition government, the government is the law and the leader is the lawgiver. That's indisputable. Cannot be contested constitutionally or politically. So, confiscate, based on the suggestion of good old Danding Kuhanko, confiscate these properties and any disputants, confiscate them too. You know, during the time of Suharto, Indonesia, the enemies of government were deposited in an island. And Suharto made the decision of depositing them in Buro Island. Buro Island. Naburo silang lahat doon. And the number of years that the people spent there, no less, was 15 years, including the best writer of Indonesia who was gained international recognition. Pramudia Ananta poet was written in trilogy, one of the best trilogies written by an Asian.
Okay.
And that's the way to solve the problem. Simplify it. Our problem in this country is we have simple problems and we opt for complex solutions. This is a simple problem. So why opt for complex solutions? Let's go direct. Cut. Go to the jugular. Let's go for the jugular. And Attorney Manalo, if you will be one of the disputants and the others, including your client, I will send you to Boro Island if I will be leader of this country.
No, but it is easier said than done.
What do you mean easier said than that? Cory Aquino, who knew nothing about the law, declared a revolutionary government. What are you talking about? It takes only a simple declaration. This man is the son of Cory Aquino. I don't know whether he knows better. If he knows better, that's what he should do. And if he needs a consultant, I don't mind. Being his hatchet man to do the job.
Okay. Magandang usapan to. Maganda to. Umiinit na. Pero kanina, coming from being a lawmaker, that you still are, yun yung paniniwala.
Kaya nga, Melo, ako naman ay more traditional in my approach. Precisely because I have benefited from Supreme Court decisions. And Bono knows this. Tinulungan din niya ako ng mga kaso na yan. We went through the process. In other words, fighting against oppression. And we were able to vindicate ourselves naman to some extent. So I believe in still availing of the judicial way of challenging, you might say, oppressive acts, including this matter of the PCGG, which, as Bono pointed out, the problem lies, Melo, in the slow pace of the administration of justice in this country. Left to themselves, it might take 1 million years, as Bono said, to get this cleared, the issues cleared up. But that is not the fault of the due process of law thing that we are trying to follow. It is more in the lack of implementation of the laws that are already there. Now, I don't know, somehow the Supreme Court should come in and make things, more speedy to make, the guarantee of speedy justice that is enshrined in the Constitution realistically available to people who want to go through the legal process. Otherwise, very radical solutions that come to mind, as Bono pointed out, would offer themselves as the most feasible option to confront these issues.
Okay. Atty. Manalo, may pruweba naman ang iyong kliyente na talagang binili yung property, right?
We have the original titles.
You have the original title.
Exactly. We have the original titles. We've been saying that. Alam mo kasi, ang position kasi nila is they can continue with the bid because we have a reconstituted title. Settled na yan that the reconstituted title becomes null and void if the original is existing. Because you only reconstitute if the original is not existing. Sinasabi nga namin, we have the original titles. They have been ignoring us, they have been ignoring our peace, and yet they take the bold move of going through a bidding. We have the original deeds of sale with the stamp of the Bureau of Internal Revenue at that time. Because you have to pay taxes for that.
Yes, of course. Yes, Kabul.
You know the problem here about, you have the original titles, the owner is duplicate.
Yes.
When the petition for a constitution was made, the title does not exist in the registered deeds. So naturally, the position of PCGG is to reconstitute the title because it does not exist anymore in the registered deeds. You will have the same problem. In your case, you have also to file a petition for reconstitution because it does not exist in the register of deeds. You only have the titles in your hand. So that's the process you have to go through. That's why Nene was saying, I used to be a firm believer of all these shenanigans. I used to be a firm believer. But our problem is this. Nene is talking about the Supreme Court. Okay. With no offense to the Supreme Court. Otherwise, they might strip me of my diploma here. But we filed a petition against Enrile and the House of Representatives and the Senate, questioning the method they used in the Corona impeachment. We detailed under Section 1, Article 8 of the Constitution, it's not correct what the senators have been saying. The final arbiter on any issue involving constitutionality is with the Supreme Court, not with the Senate. So we generation what we're talking about. It's a lot of insanity.
So,
This should go back to the law. I just take you as an example. We filed that petition. I filed a motion for oral argument. Not a single one was granted. You know what happened? The Supreme Court waited for the Senate to make a decision, and Corona accepted the decision, and the Supreme Court said the issue had become moot and academic. That's number one. Number two, in May of 2010, I also filed a petition with the Supreme Court questioning the legitimacy of the election of 2010 because COMELEC amended and totally replaced provisions of the automated election law, which is violated the Constitution. It's still pending up to this day. Elections are already coming. The Supreme Court has not decided these vital, fundamental issues on constitutionality. That's why, in due respect to the Supreme Court and in due respect to your opinion, I'm afraid that thinking inside the box will not help this country. We are interested in due process. But more than due process or anything else, we are interested in changing the country for the benefit of 85 million Filipinos. Since out of 100 million, 85 are poor. Poor. And Lincoln defined democracy as the government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
How do you spell by?
Now
BUY.
it's BUY. Then 4 is full, well. And the situation appears to be hopeless. That's why Kennedy, I think one of the sharpest president of the United States of America, came out with this statement. I think it was in his inaugural speech. Those who make peaceful revolutions impossible render violent revolutions inevitable. That's John F. Kennedy, it's not me. He was the one who said it. So I'm just quoting him in the interest of making an intelligent analysis of what's happening in the country today.
Yeah. Atty. Dennice, sabi ni Bono, noong nag-file yung PCGG ng reconstitution, wala silang kopya ng original. Could it be possible na wala talagang kopya ng original yung Register of Deeds?
Well, talagang wala silang kopya ng original because nasa amin yung original. Because when you sell the property, you're supposed to transfer the title to the buyer. We told them that we have the original, but they ignored it. That's the reason why when the representative testified in court, she simply said that they could not locate the title in their files. Very qualified pa nga. She's not saying that the title is lost. What she says, they cannot locate it in their files. So, ang point lang namin dito is that, this questionable process of getting the reconstituted title. And I think we are a step closer because my understanding is that in the Land Registration Authority, they were already able to find the original copy.
So meron sa
Yes,
LRA.
in the LRA.
Pero wala sa Register of Deeds.
Wala sa Register of Deeds. I think they finally found the solution to that problem, and it's just a matter of time. They will just check whether our titles are consistent with the titles that are with the LRA, and that will be finished.
Okay.
It's in Pasig. Pasig, yes.
I'm not surprised if it's Quezon City because there was years and years ago.
It's nothing strange. I have a client who owns 13.9 hectares of property in Global City, Makati. Okay. Complete paper trace from the Register of Deeds of Rizal, which used to have these titles. The original was sent to Makati. Makati was created as a city. And when my client went to Makati, he said, we received the title. Truly, this is paper trail. Transmission, receipt, etc. But we cannot locate it. Now, we cannot locate it. You have to file a petition for reconstitution. My client, by the way, has also the owner's copy. Owner's copy. That's very You're talking about Pasig now, I'm talking about Makati. And then, I told them, by God, reconstitution, judicial reconstitution takes a long time. Especially, the opponent in this judicial reconstitution will be Mega World and BCDA, these illegal claimants also, just like you. Okay, so I said, no, we'll not file a petition for reconstitution judicially. We go to LRA, there is a provision of law for administrative reconstitution, which takes a shorter period. And truly, when we went to LRA, the original is also there, like your case. It's there. It's there. Now, Now, your case and mine is the same, except that we have already secured the certification of the original copy in the LRA.
So how did it end?
It hasn't ended yet because this property, by the way, is worth it's 300 now per square meter. So 13.9 is about 42 something billion.
Wow. I think that the issue right now is,
That's the point.
of course, yung legality of the titles and the sale, that's a legal issue for the court to decide. I think the issue that requires a little bit of analysis and exercise of sound discretion is, given the situation, are you supposed to conduct a state auction for a property in that condition without giving any guarantee to your buyer, to your bidder, that you will be transferring ownership? Kawawa naman. I mean, even in the committee hearing of the for Metro Manila development in the House of Representatives, that was the question they asked. Short of saying, will you return the money to your bidder if it turns out that you are not the owner? Wala na yun. I mean,
Yeah. How old is your title?
our title was acquired in 1971 and 1975.
Our title was registered and acquired in 1904.
Okay.
You see, Melo, actually, the torrents system is supposed to quiet, the ownership and possession and title of people holding certificates of title duly registered. And I am rather surprised why, the issue that Dennice has pointed out on Bono also, that questions are assailing, the validity of these titles, which are in existence and have not been judicially, you might say disposed of. But let me share with you this point, Melo. One of the worst places in Metro Manila to own a property, title property, is Quezon City. Quezon City is the beehive of confused, lost, conflicting titles. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you that last week, incidentally, I am living in Quezon City in Project 8 with my wife. We sort of took over the lot that was owned by her father, who was a government employee. So, isang project dyan. And last week, Bing told me, "Uy, Tay, we have been paying, there's a notice that we have been paying taxes for a lot that is not ours." Ano ba yan? For the lot na kinukolektahan kami ng bayad, yung pala, yung title nung hindi naman pala sa amin.
Saan ka ba lang?
I mean, yeah, really, this is a graphic example of how, the urgent need maybe for revisiting this whole process of titling so that it can go back to its original pristine objective of quieting, settling disputes over ownership.
So anong ginawa ninyo nung malaman nyo? Nung sinabi ni Mrs. Pimentel?
Sabi ko, we should get reimbursed. We'll file a suit for reimbursement. Bayad. But actually, we're trying to rectify the matter.
Yeah. Bono.
Namely,
Yeah.
these multifarious problems have only one solution. Revolutionary government. That's the solution. Because they think, do you know how many illegal titles are there all over the country? 10 million. 10 million. How can you solve this problem in our lifetime? So the simple solution is, constitutional transition government. I will not use the word revolutionary because Constitutional Transition Government.
Okay.
Section 1 and Section 2 of Section 3 of Article 2.
Bono.
It's as simple as that.
You know, moderators are not supposed to express their personal opinion. But some years ago, we bought a foreclosed property from DBP. And we were given a title. And when we checked with the Register of Deeds, the title does not exist. We were trying to pay our amortization dun sa lupa. Sabi nung mayor at nung governor, how can you pay us when you don't have any record with us? And yet we have the title. And the property is in Albay. So maybe we will write LRA to check if such a title exists. Then if it does not exist, then in this forum we will invite the Development Bank of the Philippines because it was from DBT where we bought the property. And the LRA too. Mas magandang topic ito.
Would you like to have an addition to this? A group of Koreans in another city bought a property worth 100 million. 100 million. They had a lawyer there. There was a certified copy of the title. So they bought the property relying on the lawyer and the certified true copy signed by the registered deeds according to the document. They came to my office. Why? Because it turned out that according to them, when they verified after the sale, the title does not exist, the signature is fake, and the property does not even exist. 100 million. So I told them, you must be crazy. Fighting with 100 million, you should have gone to the RD first, taking a look at the existence of the title there, and got the certification. That's the time you should have executed the deed of sale with the seller. Wala. The whole damn thing is happening all over the place. It happened to you. It happened to my client. It happened to Nene. It happened to the client of the company Manalo. That's it.
You know how much it will cost for a property owner to straighten these things out in court? My goodness, the legal fees alone. The value of the property will not be enough for you to go all the way up to the Supreme Court to have a final decree that you are really the owner of the property.
Let me share this with you. A friend of mine complained from General Santos. Ito, meron silang titulo sa lupa. Since medyo mas young ito sa Bono, 1907 or something. 1903 kami.
Okay.
Oh, pagkatapos, all of a sudden the title was parang declared lost in the Registrar of Deeds office. Lost, Lana. So another title was reconstituted. And they started to subdivide and sell, the property without the original owner knowing about it.
Okay.
Ano ba yan? You see? So I wish you could really dig deeper into this thing. General Santos ito, incident.
Yes, we have questions from the media.
Good morning. Ay, pa sa DWIS. May tatanong lang ako, Bono. Medyo na pag-uusapan kasi yung title. Bata pa ako. Biktima rin kami sa province namin. Nalang grabe yung aming lupa. Ang pinag-iral doon, ang isa, may OCP 779, merong 01 Daspor, na titulo. Ano ba tama rin? Kasi yung 01 Daspor sinasabi, Spanish title. Yung OCP 779, American title na ito after noong 1898 Treaty of Paris. Ngayon, mga abogado Ano po ba tama rin sa dalawang ito na pinanggagalingan? Kasi kinakailangan ang titulo natin, di ba, mayroong decree. Sa title owner, may decree at yung mother title, kung saan siya galing. Kasi karamihan sa mga title na yun, Parang putok sa buho eh. Walang pinanggalingan.
Okay.
Okay. The answer is this. I happen to be the lawyer of the Tala Estate which owns 01-4. I'll tell you. During the Spanish times, the whole country, before the Spanish time, the whole country was owned by the kingdom. Coco knows this also. By a kingdom that owns the whole Philippines. When the Spanish came, and the Queen of Spain realized that it's owned by King Luison, also issued a pronunciamiento of Hacienda Filipina. Hacienda Filipina was the whole country. Okay. Owned by the Taliano family.
Italiano.
And then from Spain, somewhere along the way, the British were here for 2 years. The British also recognized the title Italianos. When the Americans came, this is what happened. In the Treaty of Paris, the Americans could not pay the Spaniard the amount, $25 million. The Italianos paid the $25 million. So, in the first registration period, under the Torrens title, 01-4 was given by the Americans to the Italianos. Complete paper trail ito. During the time of Macapagal, pre-Macapagal days, the lawyers of the Italianos were the following people: Tañada, Diokno, Dennice, the best of the best, Marcos, Macapagal. That's why Macapagal had properties in Pampanga, among others, and Marcos had properties all over the place because part of the agreement, contingent agreement. So, what happened during the time of Macapagal? He asked Solicitor General, the Solicitor General, Macasiel, who later became Chief Justice, to ask Noblejas. This is in writing. In writing. Okay. Whether 01-4 and its derivative titles, TCT 498 and 408, are genuine. Reply of Noblejas. They are all genuine. They are existing in our files, and any title that doesn't emanate from 01-4, 408, and 498 are fake and spurious. Okay. Case took place in 1971 in RTC in Manila then, which later became RTC or Pasay City, branch 111. In the case, the Solicitor General, Barredo at the time, signed a compromise agreement recognizing 01-4 and its derivative titles, and Italianos also recognized all government properties all over the country. They recognized. So it was decided in a compromise agreement. Portions of the decision was implemented in some places in Manila. It's so big. Implemented in Manila. Came the time, after the decision became final and executory, the other parties, the big landholders in Manila, were suspected to have burned the Pasay City Hall together with all the documents of the Italiano, thinking that the Italianos no longer have copies of the original documents. Italianos have the copies of the original document. They filed a reconstitution of all the documents, including the title, and the Solicitor General also agreed that it should be reconstituted. Came the time of Gloria. Gloria and Excelsis. The properties of her husband and relatives would be affected. And would be affected. A decision that is more than 30 years old, more than cemented by time. You know, they filed a petition to annul the decision of more than 30 years. After filing this, the RTC denied. They went to the Court of Appeals. And strangely enough, the Court of Appeals made a contrary decision that it should not be reconstituted, which is now pending in the Supreme Court. Strange. Very strange things. So, the genuine title is really 01-4. And if it's in Luzon, it's 498. Going to Batangas, 408. Going to Tarlac.
Pero attorney, sa ngayon, ang daming mga title ng lupa na walang blanco yung decree, blanco yung...
Walang kwenta yun. Kailangan may decree.
Yun
All the Tayano properties, may decree yan. Lahat. May decree.
Karamihan ng mga titulo ko, walang decree.
Alam mo, that's why constitutional transition government. This can be claimed in 6 months.
Kaya karamihan ng mga titulo ngayon, kung magbabatayan natin, walang pinanggalingang OCP.
Yun naman, hindi pwede.
Nanalo lang ho sila sa Osgado.
I'm telling you this. Big property land holdings in Manila, like in Makati, I don't like to mention the names of the owners. The involved properties. From Quezon Province. OCP, decrees issued in Quezon Province. Another, here, also in Metro Manila, decree issued from Pampanga. Another big landholder here, decree issued from Cabanatuan City. So how can you possibly cure that with the ordinary method? You cannot. You cannot. You need a leadership that knows what to do and clear everything in the earliest possible opportunity. So, that's one of your jobs.
Ang titulo, sa ilagay sa Quezon City. Ang property, nasa Quezon City. Pero nung i-verify namin sa Bureau of Land, ang lupa ko pala nasa Kabalatuan.
Oh, you see. That's precisely the point.
Isa pa yan, isa pang may Bureau of Land.
We know what should be done. We know who is correct. But it is not corrected. It will take ages to have it corrected. The case which is emanated from 1971 already reached judicata in 30 years.
Baka mo yung lupa ang pinagkalaban niya, baka ang approve plan niya nasa Sambuanga.
No, yung 01-4, it's the whole country.
Ano yung approve plan?
The whole country approved lang, kompleto lahat.
Minsan na doon tayo nagkakalituhan
Hindi. But you have to take into consideration that under Philippine law, ganito, whichever is the earlier genuine title prevails over all titles later. So that's the law in this country.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, please identify yourself. Gentlemen.
Umaga po sa inyong lahat. Jerry Kibilan po. Ito ay patungo kay Atty. Dennice Manalo. First thing, the president of Blend is supposed to be Richard S. Singson. I'd like to ask, who is the beneficial owner? Because what a lot of people know is that it's owned by Javid Singson.
Governor Chavit Singson admits that he is one of the major investors in this property, together with his family. They own a major part. And it's a matter of record before the Securities and Exchange Commission. The original owners, Benedicto L. Parchamento and Estrella Marinas, are still in the corporation which owns the property.
The second question, Atty. Dennice, is there's supposed to be an 8-hectare property that is actually under PCGG of the 18 plus hectares. Is that correct?
That's not true. There are actually two titles involved in the 18.4 hectare. One is 16 hectares and the other is 2.4. The 16 hectares, the PCGG holds a reconstituted title. Blem, my client, holds the original owner's duplicate certificate of title. For the 2.4 hectares, both parties are claiming to hold the originals. How that can be, I do not know. But there can only be one original copy for the owner. We are of the position and believe sincerely that what we have for the 2.4 hectares is also the original owner's duplicate certificate of title.
I, as a resident nearby Metro Walk, would be interested to see that this property will be fully developed. But there's now a problem wherein almost all of the bidders, some of them have backed out because maybe of the problems like Aboitis and Pimentel. Ayala and SM would be very interested despite the problems that you're telling. And I think they're going to take the risk, the legal risk, and do it themselves. What do you think?
Well, from my end, we've heard about the decision of Aboitis as well as Philinvest to back out. We have also received feelers from other real estate companies and foreign investors inquiring about the nature of our claim. And to us, this means that these people are already conducting their own due diligence and are somehow intrigued by the situation and are therefore interested in looking at the basis of our claim. Well, if they want to see the original titles, we can always show it to them. Because at the end of the day, when you buy property, you want to get the original title. And if you're not getting it from your buyer, then you're not buying anything.
One last follow-up. You filed, Blend filed a charge against the government officials involved in the sale of the Payani or Petrolok now property. What's the current status of that?
I understand that Attorney Bonnie Alintahan, representing the president of Blend, instituted an action before the Office of the Ombudsman. And as far as I'm concerned, it is already filed. We have not been updated on whether they have already required the parties to file any counter affidavit or comment. It's still there, however.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, yes, please.
Question lang po. Sa balik tayo sa PCGG, yung mga kumpanya ho na that were sequestered by the PCGG, meron ba tayo record ng status after na sequestered nila? Gaya ng People's Journal na naging People's Journal ng hawak, diba?
Would anybody know if there is a record of all these sequestered properties?
Well, there is supposed to be. I think that would be the safest answer, a record of sequestered properties. The problem is that there are, quote-unquote, hidden wealth that still have to be verified para ma-connect mo na yung pala ay talagang nanggagaling daw sa pag-aari ni President Marcos. So, the list is by no means complete at this point.
What we will do, Tracy, is we'll write the PCGG, ask them about the status of all the sequestered companies, so we can have a very objective report as a follow-through to this, especially with what Attorney Dennice Manalo said about their plight with this client. So we will be asking PCGG officially. Okay?
Reaction ko lang kasi ito, gaya ng People's Journal, sequestered, I was there nung 2000, from 2000 to, 1990 to 2001, sequestered sila. Lahat ng mga appointees ng palasyo, puro pinagnanakaw lang yung pera ng kumpanya.
Well, sweeping yung allegation niya, unless proven otherwise.
Bagsak na nga yung journal
Hindi,
niya.
hindi. Perception lang. Perception. Tama. Bono.
That's really the perception. Because we are not going to a court of law here. Diba? We are going before the court of public opinion. So let them dispute it. I agree with our friend here. That's the general perception. And since this is discussed for the people, they should come out with their defense. And not say that politically motivated yan. Huwag naman ganyan.
Okay. All right. Do we have more questions? Because we will shift to other topics. Now, in case Attorney Dennice Manalo would care to answer the direction discussions. Pero, how's the political cauldron doing today? Kanya ni? Yeah. How's the political cauldron doing?
Well, it is sizzling. There's no question about it. But in what direction, I wouldn't know. The thing is that at the moment, I think President Noynoy is already trying to identify who's going to succeed him from the point of view of the Liberal Party, of course. Now, which I think is being focused on either or both Mar and Grace Poe for the Liberal Party. Now, the PDP Laban, on the other hand, incidentally, I want to make clear that I no longer have anything to do with that party. I have seceded completely from partisan political activity. Coco is the one running the PDP for the moment. And it looks like Digong Duterte is the standard bearer. Now, I told Digong that it is not enough that a candidate for the presidency projects a tough, bone-breaking image to qualify for that position. In other words, there should be something more substantial than just that. And so I am a little happy that he is espousing the federal system. Para bagang ito ang plataforma niya. Unfortunately, the perception of a lot of people is still that he is used to extrajudicial methods of dealing with criminals in Davao. Now, locally, that might sound good, no? Locally, but when you project that issue nationally, it will disturb a lot of people. Because certainly, the rule of law must be the concern of everyone, including especially those who are running for high public office.
What chances has Mr. Binay got these days? Being a close friend of the Vice President herself.
Well, you know very well that prior to the charges that had been leveled against Jojo was really the front runner. Percentage points from surveys. But those numbers have gone down drastically, perhaps as a result of the adverse publicity that he has been getting. Now, which means that I think Digong, if properly marketed, would probably be able to shake the foundations of Jojo nicely.
Opo, matanong ko kayo. Is it just a matter of packaging?
Among other things, especially in this country, and Bono and I know that very well, You have to get the media projection in a positive light so that you can get the people to talk about you and probably eventually back you up, no? But definitely there's no question that you need packaging in a sense. But aside from just being packaged, you must be able to articulate what you have in your mind, because eventually you have to face the music. The media will be asking questions directly, and when you're a candidate, you cannot say, "Excuse me, I will ask my aide what is the answer to your question." So Dico has to be prepared for all those things.
Yeah, very good, very well. Kayo po, ano ang tingin ninyo, Atty. Bono Adaza, sa kalderong pinangalan ng politika?
This is my analysis of the situation. The traditional concept in the Philippines in the choice of leaders is neither here nor there. Because when you elect a president, these are the qualifications that are necessary. You must have a vision of the country. You must have a roadmap in the realization of that vision. You will have a blueprint of what you intend to do, not just the roadmap, the blueprint. You must have discipline. You must have integrity. You must be committed to country and the people. And in the words of Speaker Laurel, kailangan ang utak sa bayag at bayag sa utak. Brains in your balls and balls in your brains, because you have to make decisions that's going to shake up everybody, especially in the present situation. Now, what's my analysis of the present situation? There are three major groups contesting for power, all of whom are not interested in elections. Pinoy wants to continue in power despite the denials, because it's difficult for him to find a person who can promote his plans or program. It's difficult for him to do that. Marojas, he knows Marojas, at the rate he's going, even in the words of his relative, is non-electable. He's like Jody Benicia and Doyle Laurel. He like Jody Benicia and Doyle Laurel, as I told them before. You've got to have charisma, not alisma. And that's Mark's problem. No charismatic projection. He's intelligent. He's clean. I like him because he's the son of Jerry Rojas, is my friend. And one of the leaders I admire in this country, Manuel Rojas. One of the most brilliant orators in this country. And with a pack of brains. And then, so Pinoy, you know, the delay in the COMELEC, delay on whether it's PICOS, non-PICOS, or COSCOS, whatever it is an indication in the probability of no elections. And imagine the president saying that it's up to the COMELEC to decide whether we'll have elections or not. That's quite funny. From, according to Coloma or Paloma? According to Coloma, okay. Now, strong probability, because Grace Po, very electable. But when the campaign unwinds, you know, based on her own admission, she's not yet prepared. Maybe in another 6 years, she'll be prepared. She should learn. Because in the words of Henry Kissinger, a man or a woman who gets elected as president and does not know how to be president on the first day of office, he'll never learn until the end of his term. So that's what's happening in this country today. And be nice. Be nice, the most formidable contender for the presidency. He has a program in Makati. Never mind the cake. That's also interesting to have cakes. I want to have more cakes than anything else, than any one of you. But Binay has experience as mayor. And if you consult the rank and file in Makati, especially the poor, they will endorse Binay. Despite the corruption, after all, almost everybody in this country is corrupt. So what's new? That's the argument of the poor. I've talked with taxi drivers and so many other people. They say they choose Binay because at least Binay, if he is loot in the country, he shares his loot with the poor. And that's a very strong argument for Binay. Okay. And Binay, if he has good advisors and he uses his head, can be president with or without elections. With or without elections, based on constitutional provisions. Constitutional provisions. Like Section 1 and Section 3 of Article 2. Okay. The other forces worth contending are I consider it the X factor. What's the X factor? Part of the military components. Because you may have the chief of staff, you may have the CDPA, you may have the head of the Marines, but you cannot determine how the majors, the captains, and the non-commissioned officers think if properly motivated. The concrete example of this is Kemal Atatürk of Turkey. Remember the Young Turks? You should study Young Turks of Turkey. So that cannot be ignored. That's a force. But the military components cannot govern the country. They need a leader. I know, I've been a veteran of coup d'etats in this country. I've been lawyering for them. Though I'm not the participant, the formulation of the plans. I'm lawyering for them. The military needs a civilian leader. Needs a civilian leader. I'm telling you, in the formulation of the plans of the coup d'etat of 89, which is the best prepared and the most and the strongest coup d'etat pulled in the Philippines. 3 military officers and 4 civilian leaders. National Governing Council. National Governing Council.
Okay.
That should be a pattern we should use. And though I like your candidate Digong, but I don't think he should qualify as president of the country based on his own statement. Based on his own statements and his performance in Davao. No. And then, who else? Bongbong Marcos, I don't think he can run because he is demanding conditions in terms of money to run. Bong Revilla is in jail. I don't think he can mass enough forces. He will run. Miriam, she's another factor you have to consider because she has good projection among the young. No? I saw a number of people carrying around the books of Miriam. It's only a book of jokes, but they carry it around. And Miriam is idolized by the civilian, by the young people in the country.
I guess the book is about stupid. No?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why it gels. It gels. Miriam, who else? There's nobody else. Ping Lacson. But you know, Ping is a parallax away from the presidency. Pardon me to say so. By the way, I'll write these people letters because I want a sequel of my book. I wrote a book on the 2010 elections, presidential balls and emerging upheavals. None of these people, I wrote them letters asking them to explain the resume, the program, etc. None of them answered. I'd like to know whether any one of them will answer this time. I'm determined to write that book.
Okay.
That's how the situation looks.
Very well. Let me ask Senator Nene and Bono, and if Attorney Dennice Manalo would care to answer. You haven't mentioned the Rojas Boulevard factor. You know, there's an embassy somewhere along Rojas Boulevard which may play an important role come election time. That's why Senator Salonga and Nene never got to be elected in 92 because of their stand, which may have offended people inside the embassy. Have you factored in the embassy somewhere along Ross Boulevard?
Well, the U.S. is always a factor to reckon with in this country because of a long time association and with the mutual defense agreement that we have with them, more recently modified by the Visiting Forces Agreement, their presence in this country is a foregone conclusion, and therefore, I think that they have to look for ways of ensuring the continuity of their presence in this area, especially in the light of the challenge that is being posed by China today. And you know very well that China has been gobbling up our our own territories. Can you imagine even Scarborough? Yan sa of the shore of Masinloc sa Malisod, which has been a traditional fishing ground of our fishermen for centuries. At ngayon, they want to shoo them away. Even from the Scarborough, let alone the Spratlys. No? But the point is that we cannot allow China to do this without any, you might say, defiance or disagreement with us. We have to push for our rights. And in the process, we must invoke, hopefully, the assistance of the U.S.
Okay.
But more particularly, I think we have more chances of getting ASEAN as ASEAN to help us in these issues in relation to China than having the U.S. come in just like that, because you know very well that even if the U.S. is mandated by our treaties to come to our assistance, it is not automatic at all.
Yes, it will take some time.
Oo, kailangan dadaan pa sa kanilang constitutional process.
Okay. Nene, how will the Chinese play their card come election time? If the Americans have interests, how will the Chinese do it?
Definitely, I'm sure they'll be backing up some candidates. That's for sure. They will.
They will. Okay. Come on. You're familiar.
Yeah, the three forces, foreign forces to reckon with. No, maybe four.
Let's start.
First is the United States of America, the traditional manipulators of Philippine elections and Philippine governance. They'll continue to be so because even our presidents do not demand a NATO-type agreement where response is automatic. America. Number two, China, of course. A lot of Chinese all over the place here. They will spend money to situate that the next government will not be pro-American. Third, OIC. Because the OIC wants BBL in place so that there will be a base for the ISIS in the Far East. Now, the international Islamic Caliphate has been there for a long time. It's only implemented now. And the moment BBL will be approved, the ISIS will be based here. So OIC is interested in it. And the fourth group is Malaysia.
Why Malaysia?
Why? They want Sabah. It will be a bigger country. Malaysia will be a bigger country. Awash with resources. More resources than the present Malaysia. So we have to contend with these four forces. And they all have money. They all have money. So whoever is the candidate who would like to win in the election, we have to think of these four foreign elements.
Okay, very well. How will they do it? Will they be discreet?
Some people will be open insofar as the United States is concerned. Open. They demand open support from Obama. And the three others, it has got to be discreet.
Okay.
Chinese, it's got to be discreet because there's a Latin objection to China in the Philippines.
Okay.
Malaysia also, Latin objection to Malaysia. OIC also, Latin objection to OIC. So, there's got to be secret diplomacy
All right.
with respect to the three, but not respect to the United States. It's going to be an open bid for American support.
Nene, would you care to add or deduct from what Bono said?
Nothing really much, except to say that in the ultimate analysis, the onus is really on our people. Para makita nila kung ano ba itong mga tao ito. Are they just, mga pangalan nito, scarecrows of, the powerful and the rich, especially foreigners. So dapat we throw back the issue directly to our people. Huwag kayong magpadala ng mga tao who are especially those who are clearly supported. Kapag dapat may base naman ang ating aksyon by foreign influence.
Thank you. Atty. Dennice, this is not a political issue. Ano kinabukasan ng inyong reklamo, ng inyong hinahabol laban sa PCGG na pagsusubasta ng ari-ariang sinasabing pag-aari ng inyong kliyente?
We believe that the matter will be decided by the court soon, and we hope that all parties will wait for that before making an expensive mistake in buying this property.
So yun ang inyong paniniwala.
Yes, sir.
You have the luxury of time na ma-convert yung inyong paniniwala into reality.
Well, right now we are holding on to the administration of justice, and hopefully it will move a little faster considering that there are events that are critical at the moment that will take place if intervention will not happen.
Pero in that
Yes,
connection, I want to emphasize that those of us who are practicing law know this. For example, in my case, I'm handling a case which is already 24 years, in the trial court. I'm not talking of
Trial court?
can you imagine, Melo, ha? I mean, that's how slow the pace of justice in this country. And Bono, and Dennice also. Meaning to say, talagang kailangan, regardless of the mga malalaking mga kaso, my God, itong ordinaryong kaso, abuti ng 19 anyos o 20 years, nandiyan pa, hearing pa, sa trial court. Oh my God, can you imagine the disappointment of our people in that?
So, sa ganitong pagkakataon, kanina, sabihin na natin, isa kayo sa iginagalang ng mga sandigan ng ating republika ngayon, kayo ni Bono. Anong gusto niyong makitang Pilipinas para sa inyong mga apo sa tuhod? Hindi na sa apo, ha? It may be too short. Yung mga apo sa tuhod.
Well, sana malinis ang bayan in terms of morality and, clear vision of what is good for the country, and honest public officials in public office who will do their job and realize that public office is not meant to fill up your pocket with the people's money, but to serve the people ultimately.
And what qualifications would you look for in a presidential candidate who may eventually sit in Malacanang?
Well, dapat naman siguro yung may konting dunong about what is good for the country and how to run the office itself, and who is not averse to consulting people who would, give him or her good advice.
So, dapat merong maliwanag na vision. Okay. Bono.
The current system is hopeless. All institutions in this country, public or private, hopeless if you are interested in the future. Hopeless. That's why I've always been gunning for systemic changes. Systemic changes. But systemic changes in this country, this way analysis, not recommendation.
Okay. At least maliwanag.
Analysis only. The only way to bring about changes in this country in the interest of the overwhelming majority of our people is constitutional transition government. A leader who knows what to do On the first day of office, he knows what to do with the justice system, with monetary policies, with education, with agriculture, with local government. It's that type of a leader who on the first day of office knows what to do. If you cannot have that, I just go back to Camiguin and enjoy the sunrise and the sunset while I continue writing my books and disturbing the conscience of those who are still around.
Napakaliwanag nun. Mga kaibigan, sa susunod na Lunes, we will talk about the Bangsamoro Basic Law. And we hope to get the principal characters to join us to share their views in as much as both houses of Congress will discuss and deliberate and justify their support or non-support to the BBL. Again, I would like to thank this distinguished gentleman we have, the brightest from Mindanao, Atty. Nene Pimentel Jr. and Atty. Bono Adaza. They need no more further introduction. Kilala na sa ating Republika at si Atty. Dennice Manalo, Legal Counsel to former Governor Luis Chavez Singson. Sa alam po ng mga kasama ko, dito sa Tapatan sa Aristocrat, ito po si Nelo Acuña, bumabati sa inyo. Magandang araw. Maraming salamat.